World Beat Band. Give me a hand. Good morning, Jubilee. Y'all awake? Good morning, Jubilee. There we go. There we go. Sometimes it takes a little practice. Take a moment to say hello to someone next to you. Perhaps it's someone you don't know. Perhaps it's someone you know very well. If you're online, wave hello to your screens. We feel you. We even hear you. Our theme today is courageous love. So in that spirit, you're going to courageously love the people sitting next to you. So giving the message this morning is a dear friend of mine, Donna Glee Williams. I'm going to embarrass her more later. So, courageous love. Courage and love. That can be a little scary. I'm sure you have some stories about courage and love, or the perception of courage and love from your youth. But I dare you. I dare you. Now, we're not going to play truth or dare. It's a little too early in the morning for that. Don't worry. But I double dare you. That is, I double dog dare you. You're in it now. Double dog dare you to think about maybe loving, maybe whatever love is, however you conceive of love, to maybe just put something that you just really don't like all that well. Okay, maybe begin with gluten-free French toast. Ugh. I mean, yeah, it's okay to be gluten-free. I get it. But gluten-free French toast, no. But something that's just not acceptable. How do we open up to something that's just not acceptable and just be like, okay, I'm going to sit with this. I'm going to sit with this with my little arms crossed and kind of get curled up. Okay. Courageously accept the things that I cannot change. Hi. You ever been in therapy and they're like, the chair that's right across from you? Yeah. Therapists are like, yeah, we've been doing work on that for a while. But we struggle to accept these things that we cannot change in our lives. And, Jubilee currently, yeah, we're in a moment. Those of you that are new here, it's like, what moment is this? We'll get to it. But we send things back that we don't like when we go to the restaurant. It's like, send it back, I don't like it. I'm not going to pay for it, don't like it. Somebody could eat that. We live in a hungry world. Somebody could eat that. We live in a hungry world. We are in so many different droughts. But some of those droughts, that biggest drought that we have is the unlovable thing, the hard thing. 6 justices on the Supreme Court. Oh, no. I'm not inviting them to dinner. But what if courageous love, what if that tension that we feel when we're about to think even of having those folks over to dinner, that tension that we feel in our body, if we invited them over, we began to introduce love to it. Love is not an unfamiliar thing. Love is not an unfamiliar thing. Love is the first thing. Love is our first thing. And it will be our last thing. Love is what we come from, and it's what we return to. So today, let us courageously look at love as the simplifying force that maybe, just maybe, could change everything. So with that, I invite you to stand. Let us slip into the river of dreams as we celebrate courageous love.
In the middle of the night, I'm walking in my sleep from the mountain's face to the must be looking for something they were lost, but the river is wide and it's too hard to cross. Even though I know the river is wide, I walk down every evening and I sail ashore, trying to cross to the opposite side, so I can find the one what I've been looking for.
Please remain standing. We're going to call the four directions, so I invite you to face the east. Oh, winds of the east, thank you for this new day. Thank you for the cleansing rain and the fresh air that has come to bless our new beginnings. Thank you for bringing the fresh air of life and love as we step into this new opportunity to make this day the most it can be. Quarter turn to the right as we face the south. Oh, Spirit of the South, those summer winds, the fire, the sun, these hot, hot days of summer inspire us into action. Bring us a new understanding of our world, of our life, of our community. Please bring us the inspiration to move forward into the sun and into this new day. Quarter turn and face the west. Oh, the west. Sometimes we don't like spending time in the west, but Spirit of the West, please help us understand and help us know that letting go offers an opportunity for new life and new beginnings. Help us trust and accept that letting go is a good thing and it's part of life in our own lives, in the life of this world. Thank you, Spirit of the West. Thank you for being with us always and letting us know that we are not alone. Quarter turn and face the north. Spirit of the North, where the cold winds blow, where the darkness hides, where we find ourselves deep and deeper and deeper, pondering who we are, pondering what we're meant to do. Please know and please help us trust that we are here to nurture seeds, that our creativity lives in the darkness and it thrives and emerges into a new day. Thank you, Spirit of the North. Thank you for being with us. Thank you. Come face the center. Look across the circle. Catch the eye of somebody. Send them love. Send them peace. Send them your open heart as we embrace this community and as we embrace our lives. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, Susie.
So now's the time we feed the hungry. And for those of you that are not familiar with our service, we have two offerings. We have Feed the Hungry, which is happening right now. And then later on, we'll pass the bowls that will help the health of the community. So while you're digging deep in your pockets and your pocketbook and your checkbooks, pulling out some money, I'm going to intro this song a little bit, and we're going to sing together. Maestro. The river flows right by my door like a cool, refreshing shower. On stormy nights, the wind does blow. I tremble at its power. The earth brings forth both flower and fruit to feed my body and soul. But it's the fire that burns within that makes me lose control.
Now it's time for Jubilee in Action with Susie again.
1 minute, please. Let me get the action pages.
You are action, Susie.
Okay, well, I guess I'll turn my microphone back on. So many moving parts on Sunday morning. So you wonder about what's going on at Jubilee? Yeah. Well, I'm here to tell you. It's BYO Talent Time. And bring your own talent. That's a way that we're going to raise some money this summer. We just want you to share your gifts, share your talents, figure out a way to make some money and have fun while doing it. Everybody's invited to get crafting, baking, staging a home concert, reading tarot cards, whatever you do. You can promote your BYO Talent Time fundraiser yourself on the Jubilee bulletin board on Facebook, or you could let Michelle know and she'll put it in the newsletter. But if you have throw a dinner, ask your friends to, throw in $5, $10, $200, whatever. Let's see, this week's Wednesday thing. How many of y'all have been to the Wednesday thing? We've been getting together on Wednesday nights. It's being led by Daniel Barber and Billy Jonas. I almost said Billy Joel. That'd get a crowd. So actually, Billy Jonas is going to be leading it this Wednesday. So please come. The doors open at 6:45, and it'll go from 7 to 8 o'clock. We're asking $15 donation, but of course, it's whatever you feel moved to pay. So we are trying to make some money here and have fun at the same time. We love playing with words at Jubilee. And we couldn't decide if the work we're doing to co-create our future should be called rejuvenation or rejubilation. How do you feel? Well, we have an opportunity for you to vote on that. You can check, hey, we're a democratic community here. Thank you. So you can go to the website. You have until Tuesday to vote, and the link is on the homepage. So on Saturday, July 23rd, the Street Creature Puppet Collective will be presenting The Living Earth. It's a music and puppetry show celebrating the plant life of Appalachia, and it starts at 4 p.m. Great for kids. It's a fun event for all ages. And, of course, tickets are on a sliding scale and will partially benefit Jubilee. So looking down into August, we do have our summer orchestra concert planned for August 20th. So, yeah. So we haven't had one of those for several years, but it's been a long-standing tradition. For years and years, Howard's dear friend Earl Heffley led it, and now Eric Schneider leads it. And it gives community musicians an opportunity to do what they love, and playing orchestral music, and oh my gosh, it is such a gift to us. The Seeds for Celebration for the Via Positiva are on the website, and if you're inspired to give a gift of song, poetry, storytelling, dance, or anything really, please contact me, and we'll see about getting it on the schedule. Okay, and the celebration team. We have a few people that are designated on the celebration team, but we want to include anybody that wants to be involved in helping to plan these celebrations for every Sunday. So we're starting to meet every Sunday after the celebration. Today, we're having a little chat and snack, and invite you to stay afterwards to eat and share some community. But after that, we'll have our meeting, probably be about 12:30. Let's see, we've got a couple of other people making announcements. Molly, you want to go?
Good morning. I'm Molly Milner with the Earth team, and I want to alert you to the latest adventure we're having with Duke Energy. They have presented a carbon plan, massive greenwashing proposal, to mostly preserve their monopoly over NC Energy, and they plan to perpetuate fossil fuel for the next 30 to 40 years. Want to do something about that? You have two choices. There's going to be a Zoom meeting on the 13th where you can go and see what they're up to, just kind of get a flavor for what's going on. And then we have a hearing, an in-person hearing here, July 27th at 7 o'clock at the county courthouse. Local activists also plan for some theater and a press conference. So be at the courthouse at 5:30 if you'd like to do that. And everything is in the bulletin, on the internet. Thank you.
Thank you, Molly. A quick update on board activities. Many of you were present for our June 26th annual meeting and heard the painful description of our financial crisis. Toward the end of our meeting, several groups clustered to invest energy, heart, passion, wisdom on working on several of those areas. One is a group that's working to bring together grief and reconciliation rituals that have been long-term in the process. Another group working on improving our governance systems. Another group that Bruce has helped to coordinate is working to address our financial crisis. When our board meets at its regular July meeting on the 18th, we're going to be focusing exclusively on addressing the emergency of our financial crisis. The group Bruce is working with has been looking at 3 different clusters of ideas. One is to engage in emergency fundraising activities to alleviate the pressure. Another group is looking at the question of whether there are expenses that we can cut. And the other group is looking at options that include selling 46 Wall Street and finding other paths to perpetuate the life of the Jubilee community. We are expecting to get a report from Bruce and his team by Wednesday or so of this week. So you can expect to have either in our Thursday regular email or newsletter or a special email an update on those proposals and details in preparation for the board meeting on Monday next week. So I want to thank you all for the energy, the heart, the prayers, the beautiful creativity that's been sparking in the wake of these realities that we're facing. I was thinking during calling of the directions that these are times of intense pressure for the institution of the Jubilee community. The spirit of Jubilee is alive and well and thriving. I'm remembering that it was only in times of amazing, intense geologic and tectonic pressure that these beautiful mountains that we came to love were birthed. And the spirit of Jubilee continues and will guide us through this path and assures us that all shall be well. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Wendy Wheat. I'm thrilled to be here this morning, and thanks to one of your very active members, Vinnie Allen here, I've been invited to show the program Born Free, the DVD PBS documentary telling the story of Born Free. Now, any of you over 50 in the room who remember the story of the orphan lion, or the book or the movie? The book came out in 1960, the movie in 1966, and I arrived in the bush with the Adamsons in 1967, a childhood dream. So the presentation will be Wednesday evening here, 7 o'clock, come at 6:45. Donations are welcome for Jubilee and the Born Free Foundation in London. And we'll have some light refreshments, question and answers. I'll tell you a little bit about living in the bush. The documentary is about 50 minutes long, and it beautifully shows where I lived in the middle of nowhere as a youngster with no fear at the time. I have with me, I hope we can get it up on the board for the next time, I have with me a photograph of myself with one of the lions. When they made the movie Born Free in 1966, there were 24 lions that were brought from around the world. And when the movie was done, George Adamson, Mr. Born Free, got permission from the president of Kenya to take 7 of the lions from the movie and turn them into a man-made pride and return them to the wilds, which was happening when I was there. George was in a camp over here in the bush, which you'll be able to see in the documentary, and I was 18 miles away living and working with his wife, Joy Adamson, who at that time was doing research on cheetah. I lived in a tiny tent with no door on it. My only protection was a little flashlight, which I was told to put under my pillow, and if anything came in the tent, just put the flashlight in their eyes and tell them to go away. And that was it. And this photograph I have, if any of you want to see it later, this is the big lion, Ugas, who was the big male in the movie. And we were standing here, photographed right beside him. He's 500 pounds heavy. But anyway, there'll be more next time. So it's Wednesday evening, July 20th. That's the week after next. 6:45 here, and we'll be out by 8:45. Donations welcome, and I hope to see all of you and bring your friends and kids.
Thank you, Wendy. And that's Jubilee in action. So if anybody wants to get involved or attend any of the things that we've talked about today, go to the website for more details. So now we've got a special presentation from our World Beat Band featuring Paula Hanke and Daniel Sandoval.
Yeah.
Take it away, kids.
All right. We're talking courageous love today, and we know how challenging it can be sometimes to open our hearts even more. You can start the song if you like. So we're going to soften the hearts. We're going to move our bodies. There's lots of space in the room. Please get up out of your chairs if you like. Please move. Please dance. Please clap along. You know the song. Could you be loved and be loved? Could you be loved and be loved? Don't let them fool ya. Oh no. Or even try to school. And you may stumble too. So while you point your fingers, someone else is judging you. Could you be loved? Could you be loved? Could you be loved? Could you be loved? Don't let them change you. Or even rearrange you. We
I invite you to breathe deeply. Grab some bowls and bells so we can enter a prayer time. Loving, praying courageously. Breathe deeply. Let us be rung like these bells. Let us be rung in prayer and by prayer. For all that need it, seen and unseen. Breathe deeply. I invite you to take a hand, perhaps in a very gentle way. Make sure that the hand that you're taking is not healing from a finger injury or anything. Bless you, Molly. For the next several weeks, we're going to be taking special time during prayer to really focus on what it is that we need to frame these upcoming weeks and months for this community. What is it that we want to breathe into Jubilee? And there's no clear answer. So we're just going to pray. Let us just pray. Let us just pray. Let's just pray. Know that the hand that you are holding is connected to a hand that they are holding. It's connected to every hand that they have ever held. And maybe therein lies the answer. And maybe therein lies the answer. This whole world needs a courageously loving answer to its spiritual condition. Maybe therein lies our answer. Breathe deeply. Give those holy hands a squeeze.
Reach out your hand if your cup be empty, if your cup is full, may it be out again. Let it be known, let it be known. There is a fountain that was not made by the hands of men.
I invite you to share God's peace with one another. You may be seated. Eventually. I mean, if you're standing, you may as well dance. Stand with one leg if you're going to stand. Double dog dare you. Sit, Jubilant, sit! Except Howard. Howard can do whatever he wants. Howard can do anything that he wants. I invite you to hear these ancient and wise words. Just then, a lawyer stood up to test Jesus. Teacher, he said, what must I do to inherit eternal life? He said to him, what is written in the law? What do you read there? He answered, you shall love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all your strength, and with all your mind, and your neighbor as yourself. And he said to him, you have given the right answer. Do this, and you will live. And from Esther Huertas, to be deeply loved by someone gives you strength, but to love someone deeply gives you courage. This is ancient wisdom and holy word. Thanks be to all that is wise and holy. All creation is wisdom and holy word. All creation sings of wisdom in God. Hallelujah. Okay, y'all. You know, I love getting to introduce speakers, you know, and especially the speakers that I've got a cool connection with. I've got a cool connection with the speaker that's about to come up who's going to deliver our message. About 10 years ago-ish, maybe longer, she can correct me, Donna Glee Williams, and remember, it's Donna Glee, it's her first name, Donna Glee Williams, asked me to read and review her first, or you know, it was her second book, and I was blown away. It was an honor. But that was just the beginning of us really getting to know each other. Donna Glee is someone I consider a mentor in something that really lights me up. Donna Glee is an author. She is a wisdom keeper of dreams. She is an activist. And she is someone who inspires gently but fiercely, as she will do you. Donna Glee Williams, come and get it.
Let me get all the technology going. Oh man, this is the first time I've been in this room since the pandemic, and you guys look exceptionally beautiful, just radiant. So, love your neighbor as yourself. When Jay and Susie asked me to share some ruminations about courageous love, I had to sit with those words a while before I realized the beautiful ambiguity of them. That courageous love sometimes means the acts of courage that flow from love, like the proverbial young soldier who throws himself on the grenade to save his beloved buddies, or the parent that puts themselves between danger and their children, or the Christ who accepted suffering and death to spare that fate for the beloved. But when you think about the ambiguity of that word, it's not just about acts of courage that spring from love. It's about love that requires courage. The flow goes both ways. And often the reason that love requires courage is because our society or our family or our personality or our assumptions declare to us that a certain part of creation is not worthy of our love. And that makes love difficult. That makes love require courage. And I came today to tell you about one of the loves that has asked the most courage of me. And I'm going to do that by sharing a poem and a writing assignment, because that's what I do. But I think I should probably start with a little bit of a trigger warning that this conversation will include references to aging. And if for you, the letters O-L-D spell a 4-letter word, then you have come on a bad Sunday, okay? All right. So I am part of a coven of amazing women who have been meeting during the pandemic online around the issue of what does exquisite, truly exquisite living look like for us in these bodies, at this time, in this weird moment of history, with the resources that we have. And we have developed a way of working with that by dealing with an issue in our journals during the week, and then meeting together to share what we gathered and discuss it. And one week we came up with an assignment for ourselves to write a letter to our future selves. Now, we are all old. We are in our 60s and 70s. But we were looking for a really old person, you know, that where maybe some of the diminishments have gotten a little more assertive. And we wanted to sort of communicate imaginatively with that person down the line. And we did, and it was an amazing experience for us. It's so amazing that the next week we wrote a letter back from the old person to us today. And this was so transformational for us that I actually caught a poem from it. And that's the poem I'm going to share with you now. And it's called Hospitality. And here it is. There's an old one coming. If you're lucky, she will come. If you can dodge the bolts of age striking thick and fast around you, hitting friends, hitting family, hitting people younger than you, picking them off one by one like shooting fish in a barrel. Who shoots fish in a barrel? But you're still standing, so maybe she will come. You have her itinerary, more or less, but you should get in touch about the arrangements. Where would she like to stay? What does she need for breakfast? What will she care about? What won't matter anymore? Really, you should send a little note. Assure her that she's welcome here, and it will be okay. You'll see to things. A comfortable bed, making sure that she's safe. It will be okay. And if you do send a note forward on the sweep of time, maybe she will write back. What can she tell you, that old woman camping on the shore of death? She walks its beach each day, gazing out over the waves, and not just over them, but into them as they roll up across the sand towards her bare, bony feet. The waves come closer every day. Her beach narrows. The tide is coming in. So build her a little room, just what she needs. A single bed, a comfortable chair, a window she can look out and see herself walking on the beach. Maybe she's coming, but don't wait. Welcome her now. Settle her in the chair, a pillow for her back. Tuck the lap quilt over her knees like you once did for your mother. Offer her a cup of tea. to get to know her, speak slow and clear. Her world's gone strange. Words flap around like seagulls, then sail away on the wind. Hold her hand. Those bones that were your bones, that speckled crepe that was your skin. Don't be afraid. She is no stranger unless you make her one. Hold her hand. The week after I wrote that poem, by the kind of thing that happens to dream workers a lot, pure synchronicity, I stumbled on to Kelly McGonigal's Google Talk about self-discipline. And I learned that this activity of developing a loving relationship with the future you has really significant impacts on your behavior now. She particularly spoke about the research done at Stanford, where they actually got young college students in, and some hot dog computer folks created 3D avatars. They put them in virtual reality setups and had them have conversations with their future self for about an hour. And they geared it so the avatar thingy responded in their body language and spoke with their faces, but the faces aged by 30 years. So they had this detailed conversation with a future self, and then they sent them away and let some time pass because they didn't want to telegraph the punch, which was that they wanted to see how it affected them. And then after time passed, they brought them back and had them do this budgeting thing to check on what they valued, what they would invest in, and found that the ones that had had that conversation with themselves budgeted over twice as much for savings and future well-being. Other researchers have found that if you have that loving relationship with that future self, you are less likely to procrastinate, more likely to behave ethically at work, more likely to have savings and less debt, and more likely to have better health. And that kind of makes sense because, you know, like if that future self is not connected with you, why would you invest in them? Why would you put energy into them? So this business that my exquisite living group stumbled onto was actually a valuable first step for us for doing something that researchers have been knowing about for a while, just not telling us. And when I thought about courageous love, I thought about telling you that story and sending you home with a writing assignment, because that's what I do. But then I realized you're all busy, so we're going to do it here. We're going to have a little, and I know that some of you are so young you may not have actually written a letter, so we will compose a text, okay? Or if you're in between, you can do an email, you know, just wherever you are. So I would like you to, in the privacy of your own mind, create that 3D avatar of that future self that is older, or if you're already old, even older, and just kind of start connecting with that. And some of you have actually seen close genetic kin get older, so you have like a visual of that, or have seen friends get older, or maybe are hearing already from your bodies about what parts may wear out faster and what parts will be your strength and keep you going. And as you kind of reach out to get some awareness of you farther down the arrow of time, I invite you to go ahead and close your eyes and breathe into presence with that person. Accompany that future you in the presence of this room of other people breathing into their futures as well. And as you become connected with that person, there may be some questions that you would ask that future self that come up. There may be some issue, problem, crisis going on in your today waking world life that you can put in front of that future self to see what they might have to say about it. There might be some things that you want to know whether the future self is proud that you did. Some things that maybe the future self regrets that you did. Some things that that future self knows that you do not know. And letting there be the opening of a conversation. Letting there be the possibility that you could hear back some awarenesses, some images, some thoughts, some possibilities. Give that future self a loving see you later and hit send, okay? Hit send and come on back to your today's self. And just let this be the opening of a conversation that can go on. You can write that letter on paper in your journals as you're driving in your car. You can stay connected with the possibility of a future that may already exist. And you can stay connected with the possibility that you could love your older self.
Ain't got time to take a fast train. Lonely and alone, I'm going home, my baby. She'll be there. I don't care how much money I gotta spend. Got to get back to my baby again. Lonely and alone, I'm going home, my baby. She'll be there.
Oh, yeah. Thank you. Thank you, Donna, Glee. And as a testament to that, I can say 3 years ago, as a result of brain surgery, the past self then could not imagine that I would be going to a conference in Tucson next week on DreamWork that you are going to as well. Who'd have thunk it, the weird little synchronicities that happen. That said, I'm going to be gone for the next 3 weeks, Jubilants. I'm going to be taking a road trip. You are in very good hands. Susie Davis, you do so much here. You do so much here. Susie Davis, John David Short, and friends are helping to hold things together. And, you know, it takes a village, guys. It takes a village. And there is a great village here. I'll be back in time for Jubilee's birthday, and we've got some really fun services lined up. So I look forward to seeing you when I get back. I'll be taking some pictures. They'll be on Facebook. We'll talk about that later. Anyway, we have some gifts to dedicate to you and to our future selves. That's what this is all about.
Well, she wrote me a letter, said she couldn't live without me no more.
We're gonna stick around, have a little bit of chat and snack, hang out after. If you're online, make the most of this beautiful day. Love courageously where it is needed most in this old world. Let's sing ourselves out into this week.
Really